Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are taking a look at some more crazy spice in the classic Master League. Today we are taking a look at Rampardos, a Pokemon with an attack stat similar to Mewtwo, but a defense stat that is lower than a Great League Swampert. This thing is the definition of a glass cannon, so in the Master League it's going to need all the help it can get. To round out the rest of the team, I have a Mudshot Groudon on the lead and a Dialga as the safe swap. So without further ado, let's hop into the battles and let's check out Rampardos in the Classic Master League. Alright, in the first match, picking up a really nice lead here versus a Melmetal. They safe swap into their own Dialga. I was debating switching into my own, but then I actually realized that I forgot to equip the best buddy boost for this match, which means that I would lose the mirror match. So this is a little tough. I'm able to get the shield with the Earthquake. I'll go for the Fire Punch for some chip damage. They won't shield, and now I can bring in my own Dialga. I'm expecting them to go for a Draco Meteor here, so I do decide to shield up, but they end up baiting with an Iron Head, so a pretty interesting call as they're actually not able to get to a second move. They are going to bring back in the Melmetal, of course, and I'm going to be going for my own Draco Meteor right before they are able to get to a move. That lands, that does a lot of damage, and now they're going to farm up a bunch of extra energy, which is a very nice call. Since our switch clocks are misaligned, after I'm taken out here, I am going to wait the switch clock out before I bring back in the Groudon. They have a Yveltal in the back, and in comes Rampardos. As you can see, we're doing big damage with those smackdowns, absolutely tearing through Yveltal. Can we farm it all the way down? Unfortunately, we just cannot. They're able to get to a Dark Pulse. This KOs. As I mentioned, we have absolutely zero defense. Groudon able to Mudshot down. That's absolutely huge. And now we're able to get to the back-to-back Fire Punches. First one should get the shield, and second one is going to be enough to take out the Melmetal, and we are able to get the win. So starting off strong, as you can see, Rampardos does a ton of damage, but basically most any charge move is going to be one-shotting it. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty neutral lead versus a Giratina Altered. We are able to sneak through a Mudshot as they throw, which is nice, and they throw a Shadow Sneak. Shadow Sneak and Dragon Claw actually do the same amount of damage in neutral situations, but the Dragon Claw is less energy, so my guess is they're probably running Shadow Sneak and Ancient Power. So a very, very interesting moveset on that Giratina. We're going to be going straight for the Earthquake, because if they let this go, then we should be able to win the Zero Shield scenario. They let it go, we're able to win switch, they bring out a Togekiss, and I am really happy that we have switch advantage, because we are going to be able to align the Togekiss with our Rampardos. Rampardos comes in. I really don't want to take damage on the Rampardos, so I actually catch onto my Dialga, and the Ancient Power does almost no damage. Unfortunately, they have their own Dialga in the back, so things are looking a little tough, as since I'm at a health disadvantage, my opponent is going to be able to farm me down. I do need to shield this up, but I should be able to get a shield back here with the Iron Head, and I'm really hoping I can get to the second Iron Head. Come on, please! And we're not able to get there. That's really unfortunate. I really needed to get that last shield. We have to shield this up. Iron Head probably does enough to kill like 3 Rampardos. We just need to Smackdown. Does one Smackdown take them out? Oh, and they live with 1 HP. So Rampardos did his best to try and clutch. Unfortunately, unable to do so. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty rough lead versus Ho-Oh. So we're going to save swap into our own Dialga. I was expecting them to throw after 4 Incinerates, so my charge move timing is rather poor, and they're actually able to sneak through a free Incinerate. They actually go slightly over energy there, so a very interesting call for sure, and then they bring out the Earthquake. In comes Yveltal, and I was honestly expecting them to build up some extra energy, so I didn't end up throwing the Iron Head, so a big mistake by me. They're able to take me out, but now I can bring in Rampardos, and the goal at this point is just to fully farm them down, leave with as much energy as possible. We have to shield up the Dark Pulse. Again, we can take basically no hits on this thing. We'll have to see what they have in the back. It's a Mewtwo. One Side Strike is probably enough to kill a whole herd of Rampardos, so we're going to get the shield, do one more, and then switch out into our Groudon, and the Ho-Oh comes back in. We really need to kill this with an Earthquake. Come on, please kill it. Please. Oh, and they live. Oh, no. And they're able to get to the Brave Bird. This is going to be doing huge damage. Groudon is able to hang on. They bring in the Mewtwo. Mewtwo throws right away. This is big. They didn't farm up any extra energy. Come on, Rampardos. We're able to get to the Rock Slide. Is this going to be enough to take out the Mewtwo? Come on, it gets it very low. One more smackdown, able to take it out. And Rampardos able to clutch out the win. All right, hopping into the next match. Picking up a negative lead here versus the Giratina Origin, but unfortunately, since Rampardos basically loses to everything, I kind of have to stay in here. Shadow Ball definitely hurts, but we can fire back for some heavy neutral damage with the Earthquake, but unfortunately, in this particular matchup, we just get really outpaced. I opt to go for the Fire Punch because Groudon does win CMP here, and we can at least get some resisted chip damage, so that way, it's an easier farm down for our Dialga. They just have to go for an Ominous Wind. That's fine. And now they're bringing out the Melmetal. So they have a backline Melmetal. So this is looking pretty tough for us. I'm going to let this go. Typically, I like to let them throw a Superpower and then CMP them with the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor lands, does big damage there. Okay, we might have a shot. If we can farm this down with Rampardos, we may have a shot. All depends what's in back. Oh, it's a flyer. It's Togekiss. Can Rampardos clutch this for us? As you can see, unfortunately, we just get charmed down into a simultaneous KO. And since he still had Melmetal in the back, he's able to get the win. So even though it was a flyer in the back, Rampardos having no defense stat really ended up hurting us there. Alright, hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty nice lead in a Dialga. I do overfarm, so they're able to get to an Iron Head before I throw, and I'm going to be building up a bit of extra energy before going for the Earthquake. I really want to punish them if they decide not to shield. They do opt to shield, which is unfortunate, but I should be able to force the second shield here, and so long as I can get both shields, Dialga's usually in a pretty good position to close endgame if shields are down. At this point, I'm totally fine. I'm just going to let this go. And I'm going to bring in my own Dialga and try and farm down. Really hoping they can't reach a move. Oh, and they just reached the Iron Head. I know it's just an Iron Head. It's resisted. I can let this go. So we're going to let that go. All depends what they have in the back. Oh no, it's a Melmetal. This is really unfortunate. Our Groudon is dead. Things are not looking good. We're able to land the Draco Meteor, which is great, but Melmetal able to farm up a bunch. My one hope is that we're able to farm them down. They switch out. Oh, and it's a Yveltal in the back. And we have Flamethrower. So if we can farm them all the way down, Rampardos has a crazy high attack stat. We're going to win CMP over the Melmetal. We're able to farm down the Yveltal. We have the Flamethrower, and Rampardos able to somehow take out a Melmetal and give us the win. Let's go. All right, hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty neutral lead versus Mewtwo. Unfortunately, Mewtwo does win this pretty comfortably, even if they just go Side Strike like they do here, because Mewtwo can actually tank an Earthquake, so in the zero shield scenario, Mewtwo is able to pull it out. We're able to go for the Earthquake. That lands, does big damage, but does not take them out. And here, I'm unwilling to shield such a low health Groudon. Instead, I would rather have energy on my Dialga. And they have a Therian Landorus, so a very, very cool pick. Unfortunately, this thing has Superpower and a crazy attack stat, so Superpowers from Therian Landorus hit very hard. I should be able to get a shield here, which is really nice, and then I'm going to quick swap into Rampardos and try and do as much smackdown damage as possible while their defense is lowered. I have to shield up the Superpower, that's definitely taking me out, and they have a Yveltal in the back. I need to go for this Rock Slide on CMP. I can't have them overfarm, so I throw right as they get to their move. It's CMP. Okay, this works out great. This Dark Pulse will kill us. Rampardos, again, has no defense stat. We need to farm down with Dialga. Come on, can you farm down? And we just can't farm down. I'm forced to throw the Iron Head as they reach the Focus Blast. Iron Head takes them out. Can Dialga farm down the Landorus? And they're able to get to a superpower. So unfortunately, not quite able to pull out that match. All right, hopping into the next match here. Can Rampardos get some revenge? Groudon into a Giratina Altered. So again, this is a pretty neutral matchup. Giratina Altered, of course, is going to be tankier than Origin, but on the bright side, you don't have to worry about Shadow Ball since Altered form cannot learn it. And these Dragon Claws really don't do a whole lot, to be honest, but I do want to see if I can bait out any steals if they have it, and we're able to bait it out. So they do have a Melmetal in the back. I'm going to build up. Again, I want them to throw the superpower first so they lower their defense, so the Draco Meteor does extra damage. Draco Meteor comes through. This will be doing huge damage if it lands. Doesn't one-shot, but basically almost one-shots there, which is crazy for a resisted move. We are going to wait out our clock because we really don't want to be switch locked in here. We're going to bring in the Groudon and commit to the farm down. Unfortunately, the Giratina does have a move, so they are going to come back in and throw the move because they have a decent amount of energy here and they're able to get to another one. I do decide to shield this up. It all depends what they have in the back. And they have a Groudon of their own, but this is running Dragon Tail. This is an absolute nightmare, but I have to use the Rampardos somewhere. So I am going to bring in the Rampardos. I know this is just a Fire Punch. I can live this. Fire Punch still does so much for a resisted non-stab move to Rampardos. And we are going to be going for the Rock Slide, and we get the shield. Maybe we have a chance. If we can get to this Earthquake, maybe we have a chance here. Fire Punch, we're going to shield that up at this point. They only have to go for Fire Punches. We're able to get to the Earthquake. Okay. We're at the Earthquake. This is going to be taking out the opposing Groudon. We just have to farm down the Giratina. Oh, and they win with 1 HP. Another heartbreaking loss. So incredibly close. Hopping into the final match here. Are we going to be able to get some revenge? Picking up a Togekiss lead. This is a pretty nice lead for Mudshot Groudon, so long as you can time your charge moves so that they don't sneak through any extra charms. We're able to get off 2 Fire Punches. This is going to be starting to get them pretty low, so they safe swap into a Giratina Origin. And Dialga loves Giratina Origin safe swaps as we can comfortably tank a Shadow Ball, and we're in a really comfortable position. I'm going to farm up a little bit extra and now go for the Iron Head to secure the KO. Iron Head comes through. That is, of course, going to be taking them out. And they actually come in with their third here. They come in with a Groudon to farm down, and this is really not great for me. I know they have a Togekiss on the lead, so at this point, I really have to align my Groudon with theirs and hope that we can successfully call a Fire Punch bait. We're able to call the Fire Punch. That's huge. They have a second one, but I really need to get shields down if at all possible. This is going to be very tough for Rampardos to beat a Groudon just because of their respective typings. We go for the Earthquake, we get the shield, and now their Groudon throws. At this point, I have to save the shield for Rampardos. Fire Punch comes through, and in comes the Rampardos. Even those mud shots are chunking away at us. That's really unfortunate. I shielded up. They bait me with a Fire Punch. That's really not ideal. And we're able to get to a Rock Slide. Okay, just before they get to the Fire Punch. Rock Slide, able to take them out. Togekiss comes back in. They throw a move. This should be the Ancient Power. We got the Smackdown through. If we live this, we win. We live it. And we're able to take the win with Rampardos. Oh my goodness. So all in all, Rampardos does quite a bit of damage, but its defense stat is horrible. I definitely would not recommend running it in the Classic Master League unless you're looking to tank a ton of Elo. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.